Come and dine, the Master calleth, come and dine. You may feast at Jesus' table all the time. He who fed the multitude turned water into wine. To the hungry calleth now, come and dine. Jesus had a table spread where the saints of God are fed. He invites his chosen people to come and dine. With his manna he doeth feed, and he supplies our every need. Oh, 'tis sweet to sup with Jesus all the time. Come and dine, the Master calleth, come and dine. You may feast at Jesus' table all the time. He who fed the multitude turned the water into wine. To the hungry now calleth, come and dine. The disciples came to the land, thus obeying Christ's command. For the Master calleth unto them, come and dine. Then there they found their heart's desire, bread and fish upon the fire. Thus he satisfies the hungry every time. Come and dine, the Master calleth, come and dine. You may feast at Jesus' table all the time. He who fed the multitude turned the water into wine. To the hungry calleth now, come and dine. Soon the Lamb will take his bride to ever be by his side. All the host of heaven will assembled be. Oh, 'twill be a glorious sight, all the saints in spotless white. And Jesus they will feast eternally. Come and dine, the Master calleth, come and dine. You may feast at Jesus' table all the time. He who fed the multitude turned the water into wine. Come and dine, the Master calleth, come and dine. It's what he's telling you today. You all have a story. What is that story today? We all have been through some things in our life. We've all had some doubts. We've all had some fears. But all we got to do is leave it in the Master's hand and just sit at his feet and in awe of him. Tell our story as we ride through every page, through every chapter. It is in the mark of time. Some have been at the crossroads for way too long. Some had some doubts and fears on an awful long way. But Jesus said, tell your story, share it with a friend. Through the books, through the chapter, through the pages, God will set you free as you tell that story. Right now, wherever you go, there's people hurting, there's people crying, there's people that needs a friend. They feel all alone, they feel like no one is there. But I'm telling you, my friend, you can mend their hearts. Maybe you've been through it too. Maybe you've had those times of trials and decisions, and you found your prayer place, that quiet place where you began to pray. You began to jot down every thought, every care, and God met you there as you wrote your story. Now share it with someone else. Through every page, through every chapter, begin to tell the story of how Jesus saw you through. I know we've been there, maybe we're there right now, but he says, begin to tell your story. Begin to tell all the things that God has done and all the places you've been. Maybe no one wants to hear, but maybe it's just for you. Begin to tell your story and begin to be that voice. Through every page, through every chapter, you will find your release when you tell your great story to all that would hear.